reflection meeting. So I think we'll start off with how much everyone's done this week. So we'll go around.
Oh, okay. So in terms of the costumes, the Lilies on the land for the actual land armies costumes have pretty much most of it been sourced/brought. The only thing we're going to have a little bit of trouble with that hopefully we can remedy, because Lynn sent me 2 things about jumpers, so hopefully we can get that sorted now. The other costumes are on their way. I have a bunch of stuff on a railback there, which I've already talked to Lynn about, her coming in and telling me what she likes and doesn't like out of it. So hopefully we should be well on our way with that. At least over half of that is sorted. In terms of props, a lot of it is not stuff I'm buying, it's stuff I'm finding, like from my own house or from people I know. So for example, you brought in the sacks today. So I don't know when I'll be able to have the farm equipment in by, because I need to get down to the very large shed my stepdad has and peruse through that, but we should have them in eventually.
Plus, to be honest, they're a little bit of a hazard.
Yes, there is that issue.
They're actual sharp instruments.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit like, I want to leave it very late, so they're not just sort of dwelling in the area.
I think we would actually have to lock them away.
Yeah, so with that, I have to make the armband still for the costumes, and I have to make the cigarette packet and also now the letter. So I have to get around to doing it. I know how I'm going to do both of those things, I just need to actually do it. So I'll do that. In terms of other props, it's literally little things, so I think I should be able to get them pretty soon.
And Lynn is going with Gary
Today.
this afternoon
So,
I can't remember where it is, but it's something to do with an army surplus type place. So she's going to look there for green jumpers as well as possibly having a backup plan for those anyway.
Oh, and in terms of shoes, I need to ask Lynn whether it would be alright to say to the actors to get their own, because it's going to be really expensive to try and buy in bulk, and I don't have enough time/money to go around every single charity shop and get 10 pairs of shoes. So, yeah.
Lighting wise, we had a meeting with Lynn and Han on Wednesday and got loads of ideas and everything, but now we just need to do the lighting plan,
which I think you can do in this class today.
Oh,
at 11:30, the one in the theatre.
We could do that today, and then by tomorrow Jordan does GCSE, is it maths tomorrow?
It's English tomorrow, but also it's an audition day tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So you guys will only be in for rehearsals, if they're doing rehearsals.
Yeah, I think they
Well, no, they're not
they
doing it with Lynn or Erica, because I think they're doing it in the day, but the actors are doing it on their own.
Obviously you can come in and work, but there'll be certain rooms that are busy and will
they
be
said
busy.
Lynn and Erica said they'd find them a room, but they'll be in the auditions.
I think they'll be able to be in 2007 or EO44 possibly.
And they're not coming in till lunchtime.
Yeah.
So you might want to do that, come in at lunchtime, and then you can do whatever you need to do. You can go into the library, sit in the bistro. We'll just have the theatre will be busy, EO50 will be busy, and the dance studio will be busy, I think.
So sometime this week I'll be talking to Alex and Jordan. I have an idea in my head with everything we talked about at the meeting, so I kind of already have the idea of the lighting plan anyway, so it shouldn't take too long, I'm saying. But that should be done by hopefully the end of today.
Cool. Good stuff.
Sound wise, I'm getting it all together and I've now put it on a playlist, but I need to put it through QLab and...
That's okay, we do that later on.
And
Has anyone else listened to them?
Not yet, because I still need to talk to Erica and she's been busy, so...
Yeah, that's fine.
Do that. The piano thing, I'm not entirely sure what to do about that, because they want a whole one.
Yeah.
But the problem is, with the cost, and because the piano that we would be using is near to nothing, not very good tuning wise, I'm not entirely sure what to do.
Didn't we say we was going to try and make the keyboard look like...
I've just had a little bit. This is probably actually quite a complicated idea, but because they're using the back of the piano, so the back of the piano is facing the audience.
Yeah.
If we did take use the piano that we were going to use and put the electric one behind it. So it would look like she's playing that one, but I don't know how that would work actually sound-wise. But
Wouldn't it block the sound from the
that's what I was
keyboard,
just
which isn't
suddenly
very
thinking.
loud in that space anyway?
I don't know, because the idea of, I think you need to try it out. The idea of building a box around the keyboard
Sorry.
is fine.
Yeah.
One of the main issues is actually that Lynn has said they ideally want somebody to be able to sit on top of the piano,
Yeah.
and us building our own version of a box
Yeah, no, it's not something.
isn't ideal.
I'm not sure if they can sit on that piano.
No, they probably wouldn't be able to.
No.
Anyway. They wouldn't be because it
It's
would
not-
probably affect the tuning of it.
Well, no, I meant, I don't know if it's actually physically, because it's weird, isn't it? It's slanted like that, isn't it? The one in there.
I honestly can't
Yeah.
remember.
I think
It's
I think
like
it's too tall to go up there and very thin, and I think the actual
Because most of the pianos have cloth backs anyway, so that it doesn't, there isn't wood to stop the sound coming out.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it might just be, I mean, that was an ideal. It might just be that no one can sit on top of it.
Yeah.
But I quite like the idea of you guys having to put together a box to make it look like the back of a piano and using a keyboard, so long as you can get enough volume out.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that, like I said, if most pianos had a cloth back anyway, we could have a cloth back on it, so that there isn't as much wood. But it has to look like a piano, so you'd have to get your designing hats on, and also work out what we've got here that you could make it out, which I'm sure we've got plenty. Just all this square 2x2 is being used by the boys to build their fence, as we've basically only just come to that conclusion this morning. So we don't have to order a whole load of metal poles. But all of that stuff can be taken apart. So those old flats from the suicide that have got random holes cut in them, there's a whole load there of fairly decent sort of strength-wise wood that we could use, and then it could be something that was pin hinged together so that it comes apart really easily.
We've got tons of pin hinges.
Yeah, that's good. The boys again are going to use some, but I don't think they'll use very many because they're using them to attach this bit of the fence onto this bit of the fence, so that doesn't have to be a permanent fixture either. Okay.
Did you have anything else? Or
No.
Hay bales?
yeah, I was
Oh.
gonna.
Shut up.
I've managed to come up with measurements and found a website for the hay bales, and I figured out that we're going to have I think it was 3 hay bales, and I think it was I'm trying to think now. Four pieces of 3 inch thickness foam to glue together to make the actual height of it. So, no wait, I don't know now. No, 4.
I can't remember. I think it was definitely bigger than that because that wouldn't be
4
Yeah, very tall.
4-inch
4
thickness.
inches, 4 inches thickness to make it 16 inches, which is just a tiny bit smaller than this chair is. And and I've also found a site with the raffia where it was 1 kilogram for about £5, I think.
I've got it here. Have a little look. Yeah, £5.75, £6.90 including that.
And I've also managed to nab some
Sacks.
some sacks from Shoestring.
So, we need to sit down and order this stuff. I do need to check that the cost of the phone doesn't need to be put on differently and that they will still do that by credit card. But then you and I need to sit together at a time outside of rehearsal so you don't miss rehearsals and just put the credit card request on for all this stuff so that we can get it bought. What about glue?
Yeah, we said that Tanya's seen some in a shop near her, but we can also look in B&Q.
Yeah. It works out the same price in Q. Sorry.
That's all right, no, no, go.
I had the DIY job on the weekend anyway. I went into Wickes and it works out that you can get Gorilla Glue for fabrics and it's a massive tube with a squeezy nozzle. They don't have one in the sprays, which I did find and did ask, and turns out they don't do them in
No.
sprays. But
That's fine. That was just my thing for spraying over the whole thing afterwards to try and secure any last minute bits and pieces, and also just to kind of protect the raffia a bit.
Yeah.
But we could get a spray glue from somewhere else,
yeah.
possibly.
No, sorry, I've just thought about something completely different and I've just realised something that's fine. Carry on.
Okay. Were you going to say something anyway?
Probably. Yeah, carry on.
Talking about glue.
Oh, I was thinking about the dye. That's what I was thinking about.
Oh, yeah.
If we're going to get it from,
Dunelm or somewhere.
I can't go there because it's not within walking distance.
No, it's fine. I think Lynn would be alright to go
Okay.
and get that with petty cash as
Yeah.
well, probably, rather than ordering it.
Yeah.
But we can have a look at how much you think you'll need,
Yeah.
and then see, because if it's over 30 quid, we've got to order it separately anyway. Okay. Anything else, ladies?
Okay, not that I can think of.
Ladder. We need to get that wooden ladder.
Oh yeah. Did you say something about having a wooden ladder? Because I could.
Yeah, there was a small chance that my dad might have a wooden one,
Yeah.
so I can, I'll ask him.
Thank you.
And then obviously, is the steel deck fine as it is? We didn't have to do anything to it, did we? Or
Mm.
we were just having it as.
They were talking about something like painting it into like a kind of wood kind of texture.
Yeah. So it definitely
Oh, they
it
didn't.
needs
They want anything to go
disguising.
down the front.
Yes, they do. Yeah. But they wanted it to look like, what did they say? Wood, was it?
Did they want it to look like one of those barns which has the little up bit and that's where the hay was kept type thing?
Yeah, like a hay loft.
Yeah.
But we have talked about putting railings around it. They want the steps to come off the back, and it's just going to be 2 3x6. So just 2 pieces of steel deck to make a square
Yeah.
on the highest, like the drum riser level.
Oh yeah.
Then, so as you're looking at it, so if I do it this way, it would be upstage, well, kind of mid to upstage right. So basically, we looked at
Not against the
splitting
tabs, yeah.
the stage into 6 sections, and they're talking about, originally I drew it up there, but they want it almost like halfway between,
Yeah.
which is much better lighting wise. Then the however we make the steps, the same way we did for our house, that will come off the back, but then we probably will have to stick at least 1 railing on this side and railings all along there, I reckon, and leave the front open. I reckon we can leave the front half as well, but if I think we need them either side of the steps, so if people go down the steps they can grab hold of something.
Yeah. I've like noticed because like watching it in rehearsals, they like kind of come off over the
Anywhere.
edges, and it's like you're not going to be able to do that.
But
No,
it's
that's
something
fine,
they'll
but she
cover.
she can pick herself up and and
Push yourself.
push herself up and sit her bum on the front or the side,
Yeah.
but needing to exit or enter from the back will be up a set of steps. And all it is
Yeah.
from a health, they don't need that dramatically for the show, but from a health and safety perspective, we can't have that size of that height of platform with absolutely no protection or no way getting on and off, particularly if at some point someone's got to do that on and off in a blackout. So we'll and then obviously we'll have all 3 sides, not the back, covered. Now, what did she say? Did she say a wood effect?
I think it was wood.
Yeah, it was wood. It was a wood. I'm pretty sure it was a wood effect style. And then we're going to
Okay.
cover the bottom, the metal bits in raffia.
Whoa, that's a lot.
I
Okay.
think it was raffia, or it could have been something
I
else.
think she was talking about having it almost looked like fence panels with bits of raffia poking out, so it looked like there was
Yeah.
hay inside there or something like that.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
I think that was
So
the
if you
general
wanted
idea.
a whole thing in raffia, that'd be like.
But that does mean that we need to create the sides to look like fence panels or something, to look like wood. But I think, again, that's something that you guys can do as a design thing, because we may, I don't know how much we've still got left, we might have enough wood here to do it, we might not, we might have to go and get some more. I mean, the boys think that they can do what they need to do without getting any more, so it'd be really handy if we didn't, but if we haven't physically got enough stuff, then we'll have to go and get some more. so, but it could be that you then cut them into planks, and we actually, you know, mount them like fencing, and you paint on a design to make it look like wood, you know, so where you've got like the knots and the way the wood's being like cut down the centre and stuff like that, and then we could just like shove bits of raffia. So that might change how much raffia you want to buy, just so that we've got, because also I think the other thing was that they quite like the idea of having a bit of it spread about the stage, so long as it had been teched, because this stuff we can flame proof all of this, so that makes it safe to have loose bits like that around, so long as they've all been flame proofed. And the only danger is that the girls slip over on them, so long as they are in specific places and we clear it all up afterwards and it all goes back in the same positions at the start of every show, they'll have teched it with those positions, and that will be safe there. Okay.
I think from me.
Yeah, so you've already got the berets, you've already got the badges, and the trousers have now arrived to be collected from Marks and Sparks. So Lucy's got the confirmation to go and get those at some point.
I was thinking Wednesday, because apparently that's when the felt lady's there.
Yeah.
So
They basically said if by the end of Wednesday it hasn't been collected, it gets sent back to the main thing.
Okay.
So that it has to be collected. They have to be
I
collected.
can either
by
do it then
Wednesday.
or tomorrow, literally.
Yeah.
On my way in.
Well, you could do it on your. You could, because you're not coming in until later.
Yes,
You could
yeah.
do it then more easily maybe.
Yeah.
Still go in on Wednesday.
Yeah, I still need to go down and check the photos, and I don't know this person.
Yeah. Someone in boots. She said. Wasn't she?
Yeah.
Anything else, Leah?
Not that I can think of. Is there anything?
Tanya was just about to say something.
Oh, I forgot. It's gone. So close.
Okay.
No. Okay.